and welcome. I'm Harvey-Zahra. This is Socks, my cat, and I'm going to talk 5-minute parenting tips. Today, in this next 5 minutes, I want to inspire you and give you lots of practical tips in a time of day that most parents find a bit tricky, which is leaving the house in the morning. Now, what we've got to realise is that young children up to 9 live in the present moment. They live in the now. This is their time frame. So it's really not their fault when they're on the way to their shoes and they find and see their train set and they start playing with it. They've forgotten about their shoes. So it really helps for us to be very organised around our children. This is our parents' role to do this. So be organised the night before if you need to leave early in the morning. Have the clothes ready. Have the packed lunch boxes ready. Maybe even make some of the things for the packed lunch boxes ready in the fridge. Perhaps even lay the breakfast table. How is it when you go to a B&B and you come down and there are your cereal boxes and bowls and spoons? If you've got a young child, a little milk jug ready to put the milk in, they love to pour their own milk. We need to make sure our shoes have a home, whether it's the rack and that's where they live, so we're not running around trying to find the shoes or the spare shoes, or our car keys have a hook so we're not running around for those. So do be organised and ready. In the morning, I had one tip that one parent found very useful, which was actually to get dressed before you eat breakfast. If children eat breakfast in their pyjamas, and their tummies are nice and full, they start to see their toys and play, they're not interested in getting dressed. Usually children are hungry and want to eat in the morning, so the new rule is that we get dressed, then we eat. If you need to put something over them so they don't spill anything, then that's fine too. That can help. What are other tips to keep us happy hurrying in the morning? We do need to give warnings to children. If they've eaten breakfast, you've got everything ready and they're spending some time playing before you have to leave, because they're in the now, they find transitions really difficult. They can't just go straight away. So we do need to give warnings. We need to say 10 more minutes and we're going, 5 more minutes and we're going, one more thing. I actually was billeted and the parent had 3 boys that were in high school, and they were playing cards in the morning together, and she was still calling out a 10-minute, then a 5-minute, and then a 2-minute warning ready for their transition time. With younger children, you can go on eBay and buy a sand timer. Just put sand timer. You can get one for 20 minutes, you can get one for 10 minutes, and you can say 20-minute morning, turn the sand timer over, and the child can keep watching it, knowing that when the sand is going right down, there's none left, that is the time to leave. Yes, so warnings are really good. Sand timers are really good. Maybe putting the oven pinger on so it rings when we know. They often don't want to leave play, so you may have to buy some big cloths or tablecloths from the op shop, charity shop, and put it over their play. And children like notes. Jess will play again at 4 o'clock. And they know no one's going to touch their play, no one's going to touch it till they get home, and that's often easier to leave. Also, we need tips for happy hurrying, and if children are up to 9 years, up to 7, use an imaginative game. You don't have to think of lots of games. One game will last you 7 years, because children like repetition, they like rhythm. In my house, it was, come on, we need to go, let's fire up the space rocket. 1 engine fired up, 2 engines, and we'd like the engine, fire me up. Let's shoot to the door like a fast space rocket back to the launch pad, not like a slow bicycle. Or let's move like a quick cheetah running and not like a slow snail, if it's safe for them to go to the door and out to where your car is outside. Or you can hold hands to do this to keep them safe. I had one mum email me to tell me that cheetah feet had certainly worked in her house immediately the next day, and they were moving a lot quicker out to the car. If you can have some fun in the car, then you can say in the car, come on, let's get in the car and we will play our car game. I talk about that in other 5-minute parenting tips. If you could go and download lots and lots and lots of pictures that you could print off and cut out of all the things that you may see on your journey. Maybe it's a post box, maybe it's a dog, maybe it's a cat, maybe it's someone on a bike, maybe it's a blue car, a red car, a yellow car, a white car, even a pink car. All these things that you might see. Is it a shop? Is it a postman? Is it a van? Cut them all out. Is it a big tree? Is it a bird? Cut them all out and put them in a paper bag, and you can choose 2 or 3 things to hold in the car that morning and look for and see if you can find on the way to school. Or having the car seat bag with books from the library that you only really get to look over when you're in the car, or something of that nature, so that we want to go out the door. We can tell stories, and if they are going somewhere, if they're going to school, you know, we can tell a story of the dog that is late and keeps playing with his ball, and doggy day, school starts, and the teacher's looking at the door and looking at her roll and seeing who's missing, and how the teacher loves everyone to be there on time so she can smile at them all and do the roll, so that they get the idea that it's important, and build empathy that people are caring for them and waiting for them. There are a few tips to get you out of the door in time. Maybe in the porch you can have a magic wand that you give a wish to as you go out the door, or a wizard wand. You can find your own creative tips to help, but this is Lou Harvey-Zahra. That was 5-minute parenting tips. Please look up my website, which is www.skiptomylouparenting.com. My books are Happy Child, Happy Home, Creative Discipline, Connected Family. They're available on my website. They're available on every single online bookstore worldwide as a hard copy like these, as an ebook. Come and see me again by pressing the thumbs up like, subscribing, and I will see you next week with 5 minutes packed with practical parenting tips for happy children, happy homes. Thank you for listening.